Good morning to all of you. Now, today I'm going to start the second lesson, Units and Measurement. In today's lecture, I'm going to cover the topics physical quantity, fundamental and derived, units, fundamental and derived, measurement of length, 1 year calipers, screw gauge, and some practical units of length. So, let us start with the physical quantity. Now, physical quantity, as you know, that you measure the different quantities just like you can measure the mass of any object, you can measure the length of the any object, time, force, velocities. There are many quantities which you can measure. So the quantities by means of which we describe the laws of nature and also which can be measured are called the physical quantities. For example, mass, length, time, force, velocity, and acceleration, etc. All the physical quantities have been classified into the two parts, the fundamental and the derived. So, the physical quantities which describe the laws of nature and which can be measured are called the physical quantities. Now, what are the physical fundamental quantities? So, fundamental quantities does not require any other physical quantity to express it. Means that can be expressed by themselves only. They do not take the support of any other quantity. So, they cannot be resolved in terms of any other physical quantity. Such quantities are called the fundamental quantities. In mechanics, length, mass, and time. These are the three basic physical quantities. Other basic physical quantities are electric current, temperature, luminous intensity, and amount of substances. So, altogether, we have the total 7 fundamental physical quantities. Along with these 7 physical quantities, 2 more quantities has also been added, the solid angle and the plane angle. Now, derived physical quantities means the quantities which can be derived from the combination of 2 or more fundamental quantities or can be expressed in terms of basic physical quantities are called derived physical quantities. For example, velocity, density, force, energy, etc. You know that velocity is equal to distance upon time. Velocity is equal to distance upon time. Distance is the length and the time. So length and the time, these are the fundamental physical quantities, but velocity is a derived quantity because they can be expressed or they can be derived by the combination of the fundamental quantity. So this is the basic difference. Fundamental physical quantities, they cannot be resolved further in any other physical quantities, and derived quantities, they can be resolved. Now, units. So, to measure a fundamental quantity, we require a standard of that physical quantity. For example, now suppose we want to measure the length of any object. If we simply say that length of the object is 8, it will not have any sense. We have to say in which unit. It can be either 8 meter, it can be 8 kilometers, 8 centimeters, or any. So without unit, it does not have any physical quantity, does not have any sense. So measurement of a physical quantity requires a standard unit, and standard unit means meter has a standard value which is taken universally accepted in all the countries. So any standard quantity is required to measure a physical quantity. It needs a numerical value as well as a unit. So for example, length of a rod is 8 meters. So 8 is a numerical value and meter is the unit of the length. So unit is compulsory to express any measurement of any physical quantity. Now, the fundamental units. The unit of fundamental physical quantities are called the fundamental units, and units of the derived quantities are called the derived units. In mechanics, the unit of length, mass and time are m meter, kg kilogram and s second respectively, which are called the fundamental units. Derived units, the unit of all other physical quantities which can be obtained from the fundamental units are called the derived units. For example, the unit of velocity is meter per second. Density kilo kg per meter cube, force kg meter per second square. So these are called the derived units. The basic fundamental SI unit of the 7 physical basic fundamental quantities are as below. Length, meter and symbol is m. Mass, kilogram, symbol is kg. Time, second, symbol s. Electric current, ampere, symbol is capital A. Luminous intensity, candela, symbol Cd. Temperature, Kelvin, K. Amount of substance, mole, and the symbol is also mole. So these are the basic fundamental physical quantities, their units and the symbol. Now SI base quantities and units. Now all these base quantities, units, they have the standard definition which have been accepted all over the world. So we can give the definitions one by one. That is the meter. Meter is the length of the path traveled by light in vacuum during a time interval of 1 by 299799245 of a second. This definition of the meter was taken in 1983. So this length is accepted universally. Similarly, the unit of the mass is kilogram. The kilogram is equal to the mass of the international prototype of the kilogram, a platinum iridium alloy cylinder kept at International Bureau of Weights and Measures at Severe near Paris, France, and this definition was taken in 1889. So in this way, each fundamental base quantity, they have given a definition, particular standard value, and that is accepted universally. For the examination purpose, you do not have to learn these definitions, but you should know. So just go through the all definitions, that is of electric current, thermodynamic temperature, amount of substance, luminous intensity. So go through all the definitions, but for the examination purpose of the CBSE examinations, these no need to learn the definitions, but you should know about it. Now, the some SI derived unit expressed in base units. Now you have come across with the term area. Area means, just if we consider the area of a square, that is length into length, side into side, so square meter, and the meter square is the symbol. Similarly, volume, cubic meter and the meter cube. Speed or velocity, meter per second, and the symbol is m/s or ms power minus 1. Angular velocity, acceleration, angular acceleration, wave number, density, mass, density, current density, magnetic field strength, magnetic intensity, magnetic moment density, concentration of amount of substance, etc. There are the many derived quantities which you come across as you go through the different chapters. And some of the units, some of the physical quantities you must have across in your previous classes, and some of the physical quantities you will come across in your next chapters in class 11, in class 12th also. So all these, the name of these physical quantities, their SI unit and the symbol, you will learn day by day in different chapters. Now, let us discuss the measurement of length. Now, measurement of length can be measured. Now, if in normal case we see, till now you have learned that the length can be measured by the meter scale. So, the device generally used in everyday life for measurement of length is a meter scale. Meter scale is used for length from 10 raised to power minus 3 to 10 raised to power 2 meters, that is 1 mm to 1 meter, or the 100 meters. 10 raised to power 2 means 100 meters. So the meter scale that can be used up to this only. But if we want to measure the higher this length or the smaller length, we have to approach the different methods. Now, for commonly meter scale, they are used in labs. They are discussed here. That is the vernier calipers and the screw gauge. These are the two instruments which we use in our labs to measure the smaller length smaller than 1 mm. If we want to measure the length of smaller than 1 mm, then we cannot use the meter scale. For this purpose, we have to use another instrument, that is the vernier calipers. It is used to measure the length for an accuracy up to 10 raised to power minus 4 meter. 10 raised to power minus 4 meter means how many centimeter? That is less than 1 mm. 1 millimeter can be measured by the scale. And with the vernier calipers, you can measure 0.1 mm or 10 raised to power minus 4 meter. Now, this vernier calipers has the three parts: main scale, vernier calipers, and the metallic strip as shown in the figure. Now, these has the three parts. These are the jaws. This is the vernier scale. This complete is a main scale. These are the jaws for measuring the inner dimensions. These are the screws, and this is the stem for the measurement of the depth. And these two jaws, they are used for the measurement of the inner or the outer dimensions. So this is the vernier calipers. Now let us discuss it, how we can find out. Now let n vernier scale divisions VSD, V for vernier, S for scale, and D for division. Let n vernier scale divisions coincides with n minus 1 main scale divisions. Let us see once again. Just look over here. Now this is your vernier scale and this is the main scale. Vernier scale also has some divisions. Now vernier scale divisions, if vernier scale has 10 divisions. How many divisions? 10 divisions, and they coincides with the 9th division of the main scale. This is what I am saying. The 10 vernier scale divisions coincides with n minus 1. This is 10 means n. N vernier scale divisions coincides with n minus 1, that is 9 divisions of the main scale. Let us listen again. Let n vernier scale division coincides with n minus 1 scale division, main scale division. Then we can say that n VSD is equal to n minus 1 MSD. And from here, 1 VSD is equal to n minus 1 upon n MSD. So by using this, we can find out its least count, because least count of the vernier count of the vernier scale is defined as the difference between 1 MSD and 1 VSD. So from here, if 1 MSD and 1 VSD, if we subtract that, we get the result 1 upon n MSD, means smallest division on main scale upon the total number of divisions on the vernier scale. So by using this formula, we can find the least count. Either we say the least count or we say that it is the vernier count. So to find out the least count or vernier count of the vernier scale, the smallest division on the main scale upon the number of divisions on vernier scale. Usually the vernier scale which is in our lab, it has the smallest division, the one scale, it is 1 millimeter, and the number of divisions on the vernier scale is 10, so we can measure it by 0.1 mm. So 0.1 mm is the least count, and if you convert it into the centimeter, then 0.1 mm is equal to 0.01 centimeter. So this is the least count, means this the smallest distance which we can measure with the help of a vernier calipers. Now some another device is the micrometer screw. The least count of the vernier which is ordinarily available in the laboratory is 0.01 centimeter. When lengths are to be measured with greater accuracy, say up to 0.01 centimeter, then micrometer screw is need to be used. The linear distance moved by the screw when it is given one complete rotation is called the pitch of the screw. This is equal to the distance between the two consecutive threads as measured along the axis of the screw. So the least count is equal to pitch upon number of divisions on circular scale. So in case of the micrometer screw, when the screw is given the rotations and the distance moved by it, that is the distance between the two consecutive threads, that is called the pitch. So the least count is equal to pitch upon the number of divisions on the circular scale. So one of the micrometer screw is the screw gauge. So in the screw gauge works on the principle of the micrometer screw. Screw gauge can be used to measure length as less as 10 raised to power minus 5 meter, that is 0.01 millimeter. We can measure diameter of a given wire using a screw gauge. So this is the diagram of the screw gauge. See, this type of the screw gauge is in our labs. So while keeping the wire, the diameter of the wire which we want to find out is kept in between these jaws. With the help of this ratchet or the knob, we can move the spindle. Using the knob, the spindle is moved further and this wire is capped between the two anvil and the spindle. Now this is the main scale, which is main scale, and on this side there is the circular scale. So on this we will find some measurements, or we will find some lines which are total in number 100, and this is the main scale. So how we will see that the total reading, how we will get the number of division of linear scale, means the main scale में number of division small is the number of divisions of the circular scale. It is divided totally into 100 divisions, and the least count is equal to, in the previous slide I told you, least count is the pitch upon the total number of divisions. Total number of divisions there are 100. So 1 mm upon 100 gives you 0.01 mm. This is the least count of the screw gauge, that is the minimum distance which we can measure with using the screw gauge. So the total reading of the screw gauge will be the main scale reading plus number of divisions which come in line with the main scale n into least count. This you will understand much better when you come to across, when you use this screw gauge. There is some software online labs. You can use also that to come familiar with all these experiments. I'll discuss you in the later lectures. Now let us discuss few examples based on the vernier calipers and the screw gauge. Now first question is, which of the following is most precise for using length? Vernier calipers with 20 divisions on sliding scale coinciding with 19 main scale divisions, or screw gauge of pitch 1 mm of 100 divisions on the circular scale. So to find that which one is more precise, we have to find the least count. The instrument which has least count is minimum, that is more precise. to find the least count of the vernier scale. In the previous slide, I told you the least count of the vernier scale is 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. According to the question, 19 divisions of the main scale coincides with the 20 divisions of the vernier scale. Means 19 upon 20 is the one scale division measurement. So 1 MSD minus 19 upon 20 MSD is equal to 1 upon 20 MSD, and 1 MSD, that is 1 mm upon 19 gives you 1 upon 200, that is 0.005 centimeter is the value. Similarly, the least count of the screw gauge, the formula for the least count is the pitch upon number of divisions. Pitch is the distance travelled by a screw when one rotation is given. So pitch is given 1 mm, so 1 mm, and total divisions on the circular scale are given 100. So from here, by using this formula, by putting the values, we get the least count of the screw gauge, that is 0.001 centimeter. Now compare these two values, 0.005 and 0.001. Which one is smaller? Least count of the screw gauge is smaller, therefore it is more precise for measuring the length. Now let us discuss the next numerical. When circular scale of screw gauge carrying 100 divisions is given 4 complete rotations, the head of the screw moves through 2 mm. Calculate pitch and least count of the screw gauge. Now we know that pitch is the distance moved upon number of complete rotations. Here the distance moved is 2 mm, number of rotations 4, so pitch is 0.5 mm. And the formula for the least count is the pitch upon number of divisions, so 0.5 upon 100 is equal to 0.005 mm. So by using this formula, we can find out the pitch and as well as least count. Now some important practical units. Astronomical unit. One astronomical unit is the average distance of the center of the sun from the center of the earth. So it is the average distance from the center of the sun and the center of the earth, and 1 AU is equal to 1.5 into 10 raised to power 11 meter. These important practical units, you have to learn these definitions because from the point of examination purpose, these are important. So you have to learn the relation between the AU and in meter also. Now light year, this you have learned in the previous classes also. It is the distance traveled by the light in 1 year, and we know that the speed of the velocity of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. So when we find the distance is equal to, we know that velocity is equal to distance upon time, so distance is equal to velocity into time. So by multiplying this velocity with the time, that is 1 year is equal to how many seconds? Multiply it and we get the relation 1 light year is equal to 9.46 into 10 raised to power 15 meter. Now one more unit is the parsec. Parsec means the parallactic second. So it is the distance at which an arc of 1 AU subtends an angle of 1 second. That is, if the distance between the object and the point is 1 AU. So arc, 1 parsec is the distance, it is the distance, this distance is said to be 1 parsec when arc, this is the arc of 1 AU, subtends an angle of 1 second. If an arc of 1 AU, this is the arc of 1 AU, subtends an angle of 1 second, then this distance is called 1 parsec. So listen one again. 1 parsec is the distance at which an arc 1 AU long subtends an angle of 1 second. In 1 parsec in terms meters, 3.1 into 10 raised to power 16 meters, and in light years it is 3.26 light year. Barn, it is a smaller unit. Nuclear cross sections are measured in barns. 1 barn is 10 raised to power minus 28 meters square. Chandrasekhar limit, it is the largest practical unit of mass. 1 CS is 1.4 times of the mass of Sun. Lunar month, it is time taken by the moon to complete one revolution around the earth in its orbit, and it is about 27.3 days. Shake, it is the unit, it is the practical unit of time, that is equal to 1 shake is equal to 10 raised to power minus 8 seconds. So that is all for today's lecture. Thank you.